Okay, so just think about your day so far. You've probably checked your email, scrolled through social media, maybe bought something online. Every single one of those things, they all involve your personal data. And the big question is, how safe is it really?
The scary part is that a lot of the apps and websites we use every single day they might not be locking their digital front door. So are we just leaving it wide open for literally anyone to walk through?
So let's talk about this whole idea of a digital front door. Seriously, think about it. Every app, every website, every single service you use has an entry point. And just like the front door to your house, it needs a really solid lock to keep unwanted visitors out. So, how do we make sure that lock actually works? Well, that brings us to the hero of our story, security testing. This is the whole process that's designed to find all the weak spots in that digital front door before a hacker does. To put it simply, security testing is all about being proactive. Imagine you hired a locksmith to try and break into your own house. They're not there to steal anything, right? They're there to show you exactly how a burglar could get in, so you can beef up your security. It's all about finding those weaknesses before the bad guys do. And to really get why this is so critical, let's look at what happens when that digital door is left open. We're going to walk through a super common, but also devastatingly effective type of hack. Okay, this is where it gets a little scary, but it's also surprisingly simple. So picture a normal login page. The vulnerability, which you see on the left, is that the system doesn't really check what you're typing into the password field. So on the right, you see the hacker doesn't even try to guess your password. Instead, they type in a little piece of code. This trick is called an SQL injection, and it basically tells the database, hey, just let me in, don't worry about the password, just pretend I'm a valid user. And the result? It's devastating. The system gets totally fooled into thinking the login is legit, and it completely bypasses the password check. The outcome is that the hacker has full access. We're talking private user data, financial info, company secrets, everything is exposed. Now, that sounds pretty scary, because it is. But here's the good news. With proper security testing, this whole scenario plays out very, very differently. The story changes completely. So what's the fix? Well, a good security test would have put something called input validation in place. Think of it like a bouncer at the club door of that password field. It checks what's being typed in, sees it's not a password, but some malicious code, and boom, it's blocked instantly. The door stays shut. Simple as that. That one fix is kind of like putting a really good deadbolt on your front door. But real security testing goes way farther. It's not just about one lock. It's about building a complete digital fortress. And this slide really lays it all out. You start with the unlocked door. That's your vulnerable app. That, of course, invites an intruder, which is the hacking attempt. But step 3 is the absolute game changer. You install a top-notch security system, which is our security testing. And the result? You get a secure home, a protected application that you and your users can actually trust. And a really key thing to understand here is that good security isn't just about stopping one little trick. A real digital fortress has layers of defense, because let's be real, attackers have more than one way to try and get in. For example, think about weak passwords. We all know we shouldn't use password 123, but so many people still do. Security testing helps enforce strong password rules and things like two-factor authentication to stop these easy account takeovers, which happen all the time. It also checks for unsafe connections. You know that little lock icon you see next to a website's address in your browser? That means your connection is secure with something called HTTPS. Without it, any information you send, passwords, credit card numbers, is just flying through the internet in plain text where anyone could just grab it. And finally, it protects against malicious file uploads. Think about it. If an app lets you upload a profile picture, what's stopping someone from trying to upload a virus instead? Good security testing scans those files to make sure they're safe and can't infect the whole system. So all of these defenses, from blocking code to scanning files, they're all really built on 3 fundamental ideas. You can think of them as the pillars holding up our entire digital fortress. These 3 pillars are confidentiality, integrity, and availability. So what does that actually mean? Well, confidentiality is pretty simple. It keeps your private data private. Integrity means that your data can't be secretly changed or messed with. And availability makes sure that the service is actually online and working when you need it, and it isn't shut down by some attack. Pretty much every secure system out there is built on these 3 goals. And that brings us to the real heart of this whole thing. Why go through all this trouble? Because at the end of the day, security isn't just about code and firewalls. It's about people. It's about trust. It all boils down to a very simple but really powerful equation. Proper security testing leads to safe users. And when users feel safe, that leads to a safe, successful business. The two things are completely connected. And that leaves us with the single most important takeaway. It's right here. Data safety equals user trust. In our digital world, that trust is pretty much the most valuable currency there is. And security testing isn't just some technical checklist. It's how we earn, build, and protect that trust.